You ever buy a first-class ticket, pick the window seat, and think, this is going to be a smooth flight? Yeah. Well, not when the guy next to you decides your skin color ruins his luxury experience. That's exactly what happened to me, except the guy had no idea I was the one flying the plane. My name's Amelia. I'm a first officer with Global Air. That day, I was deadheading home to London after a tough week of simulator training in New York. Just a passenger for once, dressed casually, black tailored pants, a cream silk blouse, my uniform packed away. Seat 2A, first class, window side. I was ready for some peace and quiet with a book and a view of the clouds. Then he showed up. Late 50s, suit expensive but rumpled, gold watch flashing, hair slicked back, face already red with irritation. He looked at me like I was some kind of problem. "Excuse me," he said, voice low and growling. "You're in the wrong seat." I smiled politely, glanced at my boarding pass sitting right there on the armrest. "No, I'm in 2A. No, I'm in 2B. And I paid good money for this seat. I expect a certain kind of clientele." His eyes scanned me like I was something to be discarded. You know that look, the one that says, "You don't belong here." I swallowed, the knot tightening in my stomach. That familiar sting of prejudice I'd encountered before, but never quite like Tison, the supposed sanctuary of first class. I took a breath, calm but firm. "I paid for my ticket too. Maybe you should check yours again." Sarah, the lead flight attendant, glided over with that calm, professional smile that saved more situations than I can count. "Is there a problem here, sir?" He turned to her, venom dripping from every word. "This person is in my seat." He pointed at me. "I won't sit next to her." The word "her" hung heavy, unspoken but crystal clear. The whispers started around the cabin: discomfort, unease, silent judgment. My heart raced with a mix of anger, humiliation, and resolve. I wasn't about to be reduced to the color of my skin. I met his gaze, eyes steel. "I'm not moving," I said quietly. "This is my seat. You should take yours before you cause any more trouble." For a moment, he looked stunned. Then rage flushed back over his face. "I want to speak to your supervisor now. I won't be spoken to by someone who doesn't belong here." Sarah didn't flinch. "Sir, I'm the lead flight attendant. Please lower your voice. You're disturbing other passengers." "I don't care who's disturbed. Move her, or I'll have your job. Do you know who I am?" I closed my eyes for a second, silently asking for patience. This was only the beginning. A storm was brewing, and I was right in its path. But I wouldn't budge. Not to threats. Not to hate. I earned my place. The cabin grew tense. Passengers stopped their chatter, champagne forgotten. Sarah stood firm, professional but clearly angry. "Sir, take your seat. We're preparing for departure. I'll sit when she's removed. Put her in the back with the rest of them." Those words, thinly veiled hate, cut deep. My cheeks burned with a mix of shame and fury. I wanted to scream at him, call him out. But I knew it'd only feed the fire. So I stayed silent, eyes on my book though the words blurred. Then, another attendant leaned in, whispering, "Is everything okay, Sarah?" "No," she said, eyes locked on the man. "He refuses to sit." The man overheard, sneered, "I'm a paying customer. I deserve a comfortable flight. That's impossible sitting next to her." I finally looked up, voice low but sharp. "What do you mean?" "That you're black and sitting where you don't belong," he spat. I stared, dumbfounded by such brazen hate, a relic from another time, one I thought we'd left behind. Passengers murmured. A woman across the aisle snapped, "For heaven's sake, just sit down. You're making a fool of yourself." He glared, "Mind your business." "It's my business when you're holding up the flight with your disgusting prejudice." Voices rose, "Leave her alone, man. She's not bothering anyone." The tide turned, but he didn't care. He was used to getting his way. "I'm not moving until she does. I want to see the captain." Sarah was running out of options. The captain was about to call, asking what was delaying departure. "Sir, the captain is preparing for takeoff. You must take your seat." "Are you threatening me?" he sneered. "Go ahead. I have powerful friends. I'll have you fired before we land." I closed my book, exhausted. This wasn't how I wanted my flight to start. I told Sarah softly, "I'll move." She looked shocked. "You don't have to. You deserve to be here." "I know, but I also deserve peace, and that's clearly impossible sitting here." He snorted triumphantly. See? She knows her place. Ignoring him, I asked Sarah, "Is there another seat available?" She hesitated, then admitted, "There's a middle seat in 4F. "Fine," I said, standing up with quiet dignity that only seemed to rile him more. The woman who defended me earlier reached out. "I'm so sorry you had to go through that." I smiled, grateful. As I passed him, he didn't move, basking in his victory. At 4F, squeezed between two busy businessmen, I settled, weary. A pilot commander of the skies forced from my rightful seat by a racist bully. Irony wasn't lost on me, but that slow-burning anger inside grew. I tried to be the bigger person. It got me nowhere, but emboldened him. I thought of all the sacrifices, the exams, the endless pressure in a male-dominated field. I fought for my place and refused to let him or anyone like him diminish it. The engines roared to Lithia call to action. This wasn't over. Peterson thought he won. He had no idea the captain was about to turn the tide. After takeoff, Sarah told him, "Captain Matthews wants to see you." He grumbled, but went. The captain entered with authority. "Mr. Peterson, racism and bullying won't be tolerated here." He gave him an ultimatum: apologize and sit quietly, or be restrained and arrested on landing. Peterson was speechless. I stepped forward, pulled out my pilot ID, gold wings gleaming under cabin lights. "My name's Amelia Clark. I'm not just a passenger, I am your first officer. One of the pilots flying this plane." The cabin gasped. Peterson's face drained of color. The woman who defended me began clapping, soon joined by others. I blushed not with shame, but pride. I had won not just against one man's prejudice, but for every person told they don't belong. Peterson realized he messed with the wrong woman. His karma was about to land hard. The applause died down to heavy silence. Captain Matthews stared down the broken man. "Apologize or face consequences." Peterson stammered a weak sorry, eyes avoiding mine. Captain shot back. "You didn't know I was a pilot? Would that have made a difference? Your behavior would still be unacceptable." Peterson hung his head, crushed by his own hate. I returned to my rightful seat. Sarah handed me champagne, with respect shining in her eyes. The cabin felt lighter, justice served. Peterson sat pale. "Defiated no more scotch, no magazine, just silence." I tried to read, but my mind replayed everything. I stood up for myself. I was vindicated, but the bitterness lingered. No matter how high you fly, someone tried to pull you down. As we landed at Heathrow, Captain Matthews made an announcement thanking everyone, with a special nod to me for grace, dignity, and courage. 2 police officers and a company rep escorted Peterson off the plane. As he passed, our eyes met. There was a flicker of remorse, but it was too late. His consequences extended far beyond the flight. Career ruined, friendships gone, even family publicly disowned him. I became a symbol, a role model, advocating for diversity in aviation, inspiring others to chase their dreams. 2 years later, I was promoted to captain, flying the transatlantic routes I love. Every time I settle into that seat, I smile quietly, knowing hate and prejudice can never ground a spirit born to fly. The sky is my kingdom. Everyone has a right to be there, no matter their color, gender, or background. And that's a lesson Peterson learned the hard way, a lesson inked in karma's indelible script. So what do you think? Did karma serve Peterson a fair landing, or should justice go further? Drop your thoughts below. Let's get the conversation started, because this story is far from over. If you stood with Amelia, hit like, share this story to spread the message that respect is non-negotiable at any altitude, and subscribe for more real-life dramas where justice takes flight.